Latha now joins us with her take on the numbers. Latha, the fact of the matter is that the economy was already slowing down. The fact of the matter is that both demonetization and the GST implementation have further exacerbated the slowdown. The question now is, have we hit the bottom? What's the consensus among economists?
Well, let me just ponder a bit over the numbers. Agriculture was supposed to be the savior this quarter. It anyway contributes only about 17-18% to the GDP. But because of a strong Rabi and good rains, the expectation was that would be 3% plus 3.5% number. But coming in at 2.3%, it's probably telling us something about demonetization. It's probably actually led to a lot of farm income crashing. Certainly prices crashed, and therefore that could be a persisting factor. Manufacturing, again, as you alluded, 1.2%. The explanation from the finance minister is that this is entirely GST-related destocking or pre-GST destocking. But we got PMI numbers, Purchasing Managers Manufacturers Index number for July, and that was a contraction. 47. Anything below 50 is contraction. 47 is the number we got in February 2009 when the world was going through a huge contraction following the Lehman crisis. So we are in serious trouble as far as manufacturing is concerned, not entirely explained only by GST, and will not be restricted only to June. We see it in July PMI numbers and maybe half of August as well. So looks like the second quarter also is going to be a washout. And then, of course, we have the trade number, which was good only because a lot of the destocking happened and trade had a very good time. And then we have good public administration numbers, about 8%. That, again, is because expenditure was front-loaded by the government. Budget was earlier and therefore expenses were earlier. We are already running 5.5 lakh crores in terms of fiscal deficit. We cannot continue to spend in public administration at that pace. So we have a problem in terms of getting to that 7.3% number. We actually have to wish away that 7.3% GDP growth altogether. Will we get to 6.3 is the question. And considering that GST is going to take away a lot of informal sector jobs, demand will be lower. And again, crippling effects of demonetization continue. Rupee appreciation is yet another problem which will keep haunting us. Vis-a-vis the Chinese currency, we have appreciated by 10%. And while that is not a concern about exports, the concern is that import substitution is happening because the rupee is expensive. Probably a lot of electrical and electronic items are getting imported into the country. Machine tools are getting imported, and that is denying a lot of output. And therefore, the sobering thought is that this year we have to reconcile ourselves to a GDP growth of probably between 6 and 6.5%. Some relief could come by way of perhaps one more rate cut, but that's not going to go a long way.